Morning all. Back at the graph today, trying to get finished. Knackered. Stiff this morning. Well, it was a great night of boxing. What can I say? Where do we start? Clarissa Shields, 3 times undisputed champion of the world, first boxer in history to be a 3 times undisputed in the 4-belt era. Incredible, absolutely incredible. She is truly the GOAT, the female GOAT, or the GOAT, the greatest woman of all time. Marshall had no answer for her. We all wanted Marshall to win, but she just had no answer for her. That's just the bottom line of it. What can you say? Big Wilder, emotional in the post-fight chat. Knocked Hellenius out in 1 round. No answer. You know, he's come in, I think he's come in Wilder at his lightest ever weight, 214 or something I read, and just flattened him. You know, with that shot. It was a short kind of, it was like a hook, or it was maybe going to evolve into a kind of overhand right. I don't know, it was a kind of hard one to see from the angle, but needless to say, he blitzed him. He just blew him away. 1 round. And the post-fight speech is pretty, it's worth watching. Big Wilder shows his character. He's a good man, I think, the big fella. I know he was a bit sticky with Tyson, but yeah, it says a lot about him when his first and primary concern was the health of the fighter. He's friends with Robert Hellenius, he got a lot of respect for one another. Caleb Plant, I predicted a win for Plant. I didn't think he'd knock Darrell out. He's a tough cookie. Plant flattened him, starched him, totally starched him. Darrell was not getting up from that, and it was literally the same shot that Canelo beat Plant with. So Plant's been busy in the gym. Darrell's no pushover. I know he's a little bit of a spent force, but Plant made light work of him. That's a big win. That puts Plant back into contention. That was a good fight. And I predicted right with Devin Haney, a complete whitewash of George Kambosos Jr. Sometimes in boxing, guys, fighters just have another fighter's number, and that's just life. Haney's just got his number. Styles make fights, and sometimes guys are just too rangy and awkward and defensive for anybody to put a dent in them. I'll say it now, Devin Haney achieves greatness in the sport. Devin Haney will be one of the all-time greats. He's 23 years old and he's dominating the division. He's undisputed in the division. No one's put a glove on him. He's really going to achieve great special things. Everyone throws Tank Davis's name in the hat to stop him and end his reign. I'm going to put my neck out there and say Devin Haney beats him. That's a big shout, by the way, if you know anything about Tank Davis, who's a mega power puncher at 135, 140, thereabouts, you know. Haney's phenomenal. Kambosos had some success, but he really just never had an answer for him. He just couldn't get into any rhythm with him. He couldn't get inside with him. He couldn't ruffle him up and put him out of his stride. And you have to take these guys out of their step. You've got to break their rhythm. You've got to throw a spanner in the works. We all know that, but you know, doing it's a completely different thing when you've got somebody as focused as Devin Haney was. Incredible talent, brilliant athlete, high level boxing IQ, super intelligent, ring generalship, everything, all of those classic qualities that make a fighter, a complete fighter. He's a modern day Floyd Mayweather. The other day I was looking for a name. I said he was a cross between Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker and somebody else. The name I was looking for was Felix Trinidad, Tito Trinidad. He's just got that intent. Trinidad was just whitewashing people in his reign, Puerto Rican legend. I think he's about 48 or 49 now, long retired, lives a quiet life. In his prime, Tito Trinidad was a legend. You know, he only lost to a few guys, Bernard Hopkins, Winky Wright, I think was his last fight, Ronald Winky Wright. But he was long past his best then. Felix Tito Trinidad's always been one of my favourite fighters. I've got old DVDs of him. So Haney's a mix of these guys, he's a mix of the best of them. He's going to be an all-time great. He's 23, it's unbelievable what he's achieved in the sport at 23. And he's super confident. Well, what can you say? Great night of boxing. There was brilliant fights in the undercard. Baumgardner got a split decision, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Women's boxing has just been put on the map. Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall literally by one fight just dragged boxing right out the gutter. They single-handedly put women's boxing right at the top of the map. They sold out an arena, it's never been done. Clarissa's got great personality, she really is. She's a great talker. She's, you know, she loves mixing it and she brings it. She does the trash talking well, she does all that. Very different personality to Katie Taylor, who's super quiet, super humble, and basically whispers through chats. But yeah, I think that women's boxing now is going to demand massive paydays in arenas. They're going to sell out, you know, stadium shows and stuff like that. People are really getting behind women's boxing. I kind of mix my opinion of Adam Smith at times. He's a boxing analyst, pundit, you know, world of knowledge, but he really did deliver some great speeches the past few days about women's boxing, and he's worth listening to. He knows the sport. He's impartial at times, you know, which I like. What I will say is Sky's commentary of that Marshall Shields fight was absolutely despicable. It was deplorable. Every time Marshall remotely landed even the lightest, you know, pillow punch, they were like, oh, she's won the round. It was so incredibly biased. You just can't have that. You need people to remain impartial and call fights fair. Happens a lot in the UFC with Daniel Cormier. Although he maybe doesn't mean it, DC's quite biased to his pals. Clearly, Marshall maybe won a couple of rounds. Shields dominated. And she got the win. It's very, very hard to dispute that. And if they take it to the States for a rematch, it's the same answer. Like Devin Haney going back to Australia to fight Kambosos in his backyard, that's twice he's done it. There's George Kambosos is, you know, comeback for that. Devin Haney's just got his number. They could fight 10 times, Haney will win 10 of them, you know, if not like, you know, 9.5 of them. He'll just, you could maybe say Kambosos could win 10% of the rounds in those fights. Haney just schools them. That's what I love about boxing. And yet, put Kambosos against the other top 3 or 4 guys in the division, Teofimo Lopez, guys like that, and he comes out on top maybe. But when it comes to Haney, that's just that other notch above to elite level. The 1% of the 1%. Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant night of boxing. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the streams. My mate sent me a link, which I never seen an email till after, but I was catching them on YouTube and catching some clips here and there. I got them all in the end, but it was after the live events. That's just life sometimes. So there you go, guys. Brilliant night's boxing. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm knackered today. I've got this job to finish between showers. Bit of snow up here. Cold. But hey, what can you say? So I hope everybody had a good weekend. And I know that I did. And I'm gonna get back to it, and I just thought I'd catch up and give a wee boxing update. A lot of people called fights and most people got their predictions wrong. It was one of those nights. I did say Wilder by knockout. I didn't think round 1. I thought maybe in 6 or 7 rounds he would put my way. I thought Caleb Plant by points. I took Haney by unanimous, which I got right. And although I was touting for Marshall, I've said it openly that you just cannot count Shields out, and don't be surprised at all if she just runs over the top of her, which basically she did. Peter Fury, honest guy, he knows his fighter was beat. just one of those things, isn't it? What can you say? That's the sport we love. So have a good Sunday. Hope there's not too many sore heads out there. And I'm going to get busy. Right guys? Have a good day. Bye bye.